Two, one. Hello there, Katie. How you doing?
I'm doing so well. How are you doing?
Doing good. For those of you joining us, you're listening to the Church Communications Podcast, or maybe you're watching via Facebook Live. We hope you are, if you're one of the members of our Church Communications Facebook group. So I'm surviving right now. We just sent a kid off to kindergarten this morning.
I know. I saw those sweet pics.
Yes, they are sweet pics, and we're all slightly emotionally drained from the moment, to be honest with you.
It's a big day.
It is a huge day for us. It is a big day.
And you also just got back from vacation.
I did get back from vacation. So we have...
You look slightly tan.
I am slightly tan. I'm afraid, however, I'm the only person in my family who can be tan. I learned out because my boys were all red. So...
like my last name.
Yeah.
Jokes.
So the reality of it is so I am I'm slightly worn out. And so, but then again, tomorrow as you and I discussing off air, I'm recording a bunch of stuff for the YouTube channel. So yay. So, all right. So anyway, let's talk about our wonderful sponsor for this week's episode. It is our friends over at the Disciple Making Conference. Join 1,000 plus disciple makers in Nashville, Tennessee for this 2-day forum that will equip you to be a disciple maker. Get 20% off with the promo code ChurchCom. That's all one word, ChurchCom, all caps. Learn from disciple makers like Jim Putman, Tom Rayner, Julia Newbell, Robert Coleman, Nate Larkin, Ariana Ribson, Daniel M., Dan Spader, Kenan Vaughn, Todd Wilson. Others are 13 tracks, 15 speakers, 65 plus workshops, and 13 different organizations equipping to make you disciple. We're offering practical training that can help you grow. So if you use the promo code ChurchCom, you'll have your seat off. And by the way, we'll put the link in the notes. The link's kind of long because it's an Eventbrite link. I'll put the link down the show notes. If you use that link, you go there, you'll get 20% off your ticket.
Yeah, the event's hosted by discipleship.org.
Yes. And I believe
so you can find out more there.
Yeah, it's the Disciple Make. I think it's one of the largest. I think it is, if not the largest discipleship conference in the country. It's coming this year to Nashville, being hosted, by the way, at our church.
So you might can meet us there. What?
Oh, it'd be crazy.
I know, it's like a 2-in-1. Think about it.
Yes, and we also are doing a Facebook Live Sunday night with the author of the book Discipleship and Disciple Making, Bobby Harrington, and who'll be talking about disciple making and how that process plays out in the world of church communications. So There we go.
We're excited.
Yes, we are. All right, Katie, you ready to get down to the big five for this week?
Let's get down to the big five.
All right, our first one tonight is Facebook will now let users give friends the option of donating to a nonprofit on their birthday. So Facebook is opening up an option that on your birthday, you can dedicate your birthday to support a cause, and you can use Facebook now to directly give money to that cause through their system, if you will. So you can take your birthday, you can dedicate it, and you can say, give to this charity, and guess what? Boom, people can do that.
I think this is awesome. It's going to be so great for a lot of nonprofits. I don't know if churches can get involved for missions and that kind of stuff. I think that could be a really great way to give to missions.
I'm with you. I like this. I'm wondering if this is Zuckerberg seems to be on this idea of being more mission minded, and I don't mean missions in a typical biblical sense. I mean mission like
we have a lot to say about that.
Yes, I know you do. But he seems to be on that goal, and he seems to be going in that direction. So the idea of making it easier to give to nonprofits and lowering a lot of those barriers and lowering a lot of those walls. We know we got companies like Kindred and PushPay that help do that on the mobile side. But if you can help somebody do that on the Facebook side, I really like that idea.
I think Facebook is modeling the church. The first 10 years of Facebook was all about building. The second 10 years of Facebook all about getting people into groups. And the next 10 years will be about serving, like getting people to serve and help. So, I mean, I feel like that's what they're copying the church's model of how to build a church.
You bring up a good point. Let's detour here for a second. Okay, because you and I watched that Facebook groups summit.
Yeah.
And I don't remember which one of us said it, but one of us said I think you may say it looks like Mark is preaching a sermon, and I said it looks like this is it's a sermon that you would give a small group leaders.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why he went to all the churches was to find out how they were building small groups, how were they building community, and
Right.
I think what he heard over and over again probably from churches was small groups, small groups, small groups. This is how you build community, and
Right.
so I think he was like, okay, great, this is what we can like put into our groups. I have a lot to say about that, but you'll have to come to that church conference if you want to hear it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I don't want to steal your thunder. I don't want to steal your thunder about that.
Yeah. But I'm really excited about what groups, Facebook groups can do. It's, it's so funny. We created this group and I really had to drag you into it. It's the funny part. Like you were all like, let's make an email list.
I did. I totally went old school. I went like, I showed my age by going, no,
I don't think that's an age
website.
thing. I think that was like the logical answer. Like everybody was like, let's make video fruit. All the big players, Michael Hyatt, they were all saying build an email list. And I was like, you know what? I think a forum would be cool because I'm a nerd. And I just love community. I mean, there's just something that's awesome about community that we can do such incredible good together. And so I'm just, and here we are doing incredible good. So I think we can do more with it.
And I'm going to make a confession. For the last 5 years, I'm going to guess, I've been on Facebook longer than that. I've not been a fan of Facebook. However, our Facebook group, I actually taken the app that now is on the home screen of my phone, and I use that social network probably more than any other social network I use right now. Like based purely off the whole group. Not like wanting to see family photos. It's purely based off the group. So I am one of the people that when Zuckerberg goes, people are looking for groups and community, I'll raise my hand. That's this guy right here. So there you go.
You're right. Daryl is a brainiac. Kenny popped up to say Daryl's a brainiac. And it's true. He's number one, which is why I like him so much.
Kenny, your check is in the mail. All right. Story number 2.
Okay. Facebook and Instagram gets redesigns for readability. And we posted about this earlier this week. Because we're a power group. We're a Facebook power group. I feel like we should have like cool like sounds that we play when that happens.
We totally should.
And we're just going to make it up because we can't really put those in. Maybe we can put them in afterwards. But Facebook power group. Okay, I'm just going to say that every time.
Yeah.
But it's to help readability and to help reduce eye fatigue and to give you the ability to have longer browsing sessions, which we all need apparently.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I will say this. Like when it comes to the redesign of that, I didn't realize how much I liked the redesign until I saw it, and then I started looking at it. I was like, okay, this is really well thought out. It's a lot. It's almost Apple-esque in the sense it's like very much polishing things and just going like this little things or touches that I'm kind of going. Yeah. They're getting better at the polishing of this app, and I just was really impressed with it. I think it's starting to look really nice. Like again, appealing, which is what they want you obviously to do for you to stay on the app longer. Yeah, and I think too they're trying to remember blue light, and I think there's a lot of blue obviously on Facebook. I think they're cutting down on some things that like not that blue light emits from blue, but it's just so bright. I feel like they're working on trying to fix those kind of things. Because I feel like Facebook's literally the brightest app on my phone. I always have to turn it way down. Yeah. So I'm just wondering how that's going to affect things. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, again, but it's just those little touches like now having threaded conversations in Instagram. I mean, those are the little things that you kind of go, okay. And just even the way they've done the bubbles, now the conversation bubbles on posts, it's one of those things where you go, okay, wow, you guys are really refining it. And so I got to give them kudos for that. All right. Story number 3. Make sure I remember right here. Snapchat debuts crowd surf feature, which stitches together snaps from selected live events by syncing audio to create a multi-perspective viewing experience. Whoa. So basically what it does is it takes your stuff in real time. It's called crowd surf. It connects your snaps based on the audio stitches together. So basically kind of gives you a seamless, not a 360 experience, but I guess it could say it's a 360 experience of all that stuff coming together. So it looks like it's already live within the Our Stories feature, which is curated by Snapchat. And I think they used Lord. I think the artist Lord is a recent for a prime example. So I really, really like this idea. I do. I think it'd be really cool for a church. I don't know if we would use it, but it seems like it could be cool. And also I like that they're still innovating, because I know for a while there, I mean, and still now I'm wondering what the future of Snapchat's going to be. So
Yeah, I think this is cool.
Well, I think, again, it goes back to what they're trying to do. One of the things I think, if you read, there's a great post in TechCrunch about what they call the experience layer or app layer. And they said one of the things that makes Snapchat so good is what's the first thing you do when you open up that app? What's the first screen you see? The camera. It puts you into a producer mode, not a consumer mode. And by doing so, it basically tells you, we want you to go ahead and jump into the experience and start creating content. And we want to remove all the layers from you and the experience that you're currently experiencing in the moment. So I think this is the kind of stuff where they're really good at helping you experience whatever's going around you. They help you experience that in a way that doesn't seem nearly as obtrusive as other apps would do, where you got to open up the app, find the camera. This is just boom, you sit there, you're off the running, and you're out the door going. And I think, again, like Snapchat Spectacles, those are just one of those things where you start seeing those things where if they can pull all this together. CrowdSurf is one example. I think they got some real good potential there.
Yeah, I think so too. So the next article is Google reveals sites that fail the ad test risk being filtered by upcoming Chrome ad blocker, which includes Forbes, the LA Times, Lifehacker, and the Chicago Tribune.
Ooh.
So ad blocking is coming to Chrome in 2018, which is crazy because Google is like ads. Like, yes. That's what they do, right? So I guess it won't block their ads.
Okay, so here's the question. I'm assuming somebody's going to do this, but I'm assuming there'll be an antitrust issue here that, like, you can use their browser, but their browser is going to block everything but their ads. So, like, I'm not sure how that would work. Which is,
I don't know how it helps them, but
interesting. But I go back to this, and we've talked about this maybe 3 or 4 episodes ago, where how does this affect the church, if you will? I think it really is the technical know-how of making sure that your stuff that you would probably classify as ads, your marketing campaign, if it's like the big thing that you have this that you're promoting, how do you make sure it doesn't get lost and doesn't get classified as an ad? You and I talked about the fact when we built this current website that we have, we classified something in. Do we classify the CSS as ads? Was that the issue?
Yeah, we put class equals ad.
Yes, and therefore, like, ad blockers would literally like take out half our website.
No, it's an ad.
Yes, so that does come to fruition as you think through your version of the website, and how do you want that played out? Which I think goes back to the central argument that you and I've had, which is really ads don't really belong on the front page of your website.
Yeah, which is funny. I know our website does.
Yes, don't get me wrong. We fully understand that, and
we don't practice what we preach. But we're working on it, okay, guys? We're behind. Aren't we all behind? Like, let's be honest here. Nobody can keep up with everything. And even with a team like our size, that's the funny part, is that even with a large team, you can still be a year behind. Because the world's changing really fast. And so it's design and how people experience the web. So if you feel like, man, I feel like my websites are always 2 steps behind, don't worry, everyone feels that way. So you're not alone.
Everybody feels that way. Everybody does. Because I always like it when the moment, like, somebody is like, is the website done? It's like, it's done. And we finished, we launched it. But the moment you launch it, you go, oh my God.
It's not done, it's perpetual.
It feels old. All right. Our last article tonight is on habits versus, this is a little personal development. This isn't like news on Facebook or Instagram. This is a little different, folks. It is habits versus goals, a look at the benefits of a systematic approach to life. And it's an article that basically talks about goals versus habits. Is, every year you set your New Year's resolution, which are essentially goals, what you're going to do. And it talks about the idea of goals versus habits. And it makes the argument that we are better off as people by working and focusing on habits versus goals. And some of the arguments are this: goals have an endpoint. So in other words, once you finish a goal, you're done with the goal. Goals relies on factor which we don't always have control over. Goals rely on willpower and self-discipline. Keeping our direct action requires constant willpower, and goals can make us complacent or sometimes be reckless. Habits are different. Habits are easy to complete. Habits are something you build and ingrain for yourself for life. Habits can compound. Habits can be small as you want them to be. And I really, really, really think this is really insightful, because I think for a lot of us, especially in the world that we work in, is that we have a tendency to create very lofty goals for ourselves in church communications.
Yeah, like I'm going to redesign the whole website.
Or like, I'm going to reach X amount of Facebook likes. I'm going to have X amount of engagement. versus building those habits that will probably get you to that goal, but also will pay off in the long run, which could be every day I'm going to wake up and I'm going to write 10 ideas for social media. I mean, I use them all, but I'm going to exercise my brain and build that habit of being a constant idea machine. That's a difference in saying like, and by doing that, you may implement those ideas and you may end up hitting your Facebook likes goal, but you built that.
Which this article also says habits can mean we overshoot our goals. So let's say that let's say we're going to write a book, okay? And we decide to write 200 words a day. So it should take 250 days, which is like a little less than a year. So if writing 200 words a day, it takes little effort, then those small steps will probably lead to you writing 1,000 words a day, and you'll end up writing way more than you need for your book, or end up finishing your book way faster than 250 days. You just have to make it a habit of, I'm going to daily do this. Discipline is hard, though. Let's be honest.
Well, it's
biblical, though. And I think that's why I feel like a habit approach is almost more biblical than a goal. I don't know. The goals are good. Goals are biblical too. But like I feel like making habits is good because they're small and they're obtainable. Like every day I'm going to floss my teeth. Okay, that's small and obtainable. I can take my time and remember to do this, So, and I've done it for the last 3 years, guys. So I'm just saying.
Well, I think it's always the way I look at it is that I think in the world we live in, we are certain people that we probably admire, who probably we think, wow, they do it better than we do. And I think one of the things I'm trying to learn to do is deconstruct those people and figure out the habits that they've ingrained in themselves that have got them there. Realizing, it was a 10 to 15 year arc to which got them where they needed to be, but it was probably small little habits they built and disciplines they built over time. They did probably have goals, but the reality is those small habits help them achieve where they are. Because it's one of those things where now all of a sudden it's just second nature. They know they need to do X. I mean, I'll give you a quick example for me is one of the habits I've had to get into in the last 2 years I'll say the last 2 years, that may not be accurate time-wise, is the idea of like when I got to be thinking about all of our channels. So opening it up, checking it as a habit. But I know now it's ingrained in me that I know when I open my computer, I'm checking all of our channels. That's just something, it's a habit. But by doing that, that's going to second nature, and I can build on top of that habit. Okay, now I'm checking them. Now I'm going to do X with them. It's those little things over time to add up.
Yeah. Noble, the guy who I guess made the Nobel Prize, he said, first we make our habits and our habits make us.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's true. So
yeah, and by the way, I think every once in a while we get a post in the group that's where somebody's frustrated with something not working the way it's supposed to be working. And one of the things I'd probably say is let's deconstruct your habits. Did you have the habits that you need to take you to get you where you wanted to be?
Yeah.
Here we go.
And I feel like, if anyone's doing this super well, it's Daryl. I know, y'all don't know Daryl personally. You don't see him at work every day. But, I mean, the man, journals every morning. He has, every single, hour of the day, prodded out. So, I mean, if there's someone who's doing this well, and that's the reason I wanted to work for Daryl is because he just does these kind of things really well. So.
Well, that's very good. By the way, we're going to do a YouTube video on that. I'm going to show you how I map out every single moment of my day.
I'm looking forward to that because I need it.
There you go. We're going to do that. So there we go. All righty. Katie, let's hear. You want to jump to some shout outs?
Yeah, we're going to talk about Facebook Watch. We can talk about Facebook Watch.
Let's talk about Facebook Watch. Yeah, this is really interesting. You want to talk about
that? Released their own platform for TV. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it? It was supposed to be released.
Okay, I opened up the video tab on my phone today, and I was like, oh my gosh. It feels like when I opened the Facebook, it's the dollar bin of DVDs is what I open up. You look at it and you kind of go, what are these videos?
Some crazy fun watch thing yet. It's the same thing I normally have. So I don't know. Maybe it just hasn't been pushed to me yet. That's probably the problem. Although I do have a mind-blowing hair transformation. You can definitely look forward to watching that later.
Yeah, see, and I've got Mr. Bean on a diving board.
I'm not gonna lie, I do watch some of these though. They're very entertaining.
I mean, but they look these aren't. It's so different than when I go to YouTube, where YouTube has got pretty good quality content.
It's curated to you a little bit more.
Yeah. So there you go. So so we're supposed to be getting it. So anyway, talk to us a little bit about this watch tab. Katie, can churches participate in this? How's that work?
Yeah, so Dan Wunderlich in the group, he talked to someone at Facebook, which was really cool. Apparently an old friend, they got together, they chatted about it. You could find that thread in the group, and also I'm sure we'll link it in the show notes. And he basically said that you can apply, and he gave us the link to apply to become a show. But like to become a show, you can't you have to have consistent quality content. You can't, I don't know. It seemed like there was a lot of kind of rules about it, but it does seem really cool.
Yeah. So I guess what they're doing is they're just, it's not too far off in the sense of where Spotify, you just can't put your podcast on Spotify. You have to it's got to be approved, and I think it's quality enough to put on there. So in other words, they're obviously doing some curation. I'd love to know what they constitute a show. Is that a time thing? Is it 22 minutes? I wonder if that's what are they shooting for keeping you on the platform longer? How YouTube right now, from what we understand in terms of their algorithm, they're rewarding videos that keep people there longer. So these short videos on YouTube aren't getting nearly as much love as say I've noticed that certain vloggers now are now approaching anywhere from 16 to almost 20 minutes on their daily vlogs because it keeps people on the platform longer.
I think so. And that's, I was actually trying to find it. The show page is the same as the regular page with few video first abilities, mainly the creation of episodes. You can go live from your show page, and they want live shows. However, it sounds like the implementation will be the same as a regular page. And so, yeah, I'm just trying to find it. The show page will be distinct from your regular Facebook page, but you can link them.
Yeah.
It can be attributed to your Facebook page. The intention of Watch is that you create distinct shows that offer the same theme and style of content regularly, like a show on TV. Netflix is not intended to be a place to dump, everything like YouTube kind of is. You shouldn't dump your baptism videos and your youth mission trip recap video in there. You should probably, it needs to be, honestly, your Sunday morning, I think would be probably a great Facebook show. Because it's essentially just the same as, showing it on, broadcasting on television.
That's true. Brandon asked, do you see a scenario where Facebook enters the online TV space, like YouTube and Hulu? I didn't see that coming, but who knows? Maybe. I think they will. I think they're going to. I think it's a play. I think
Facebook wants to keep people on Facebook. At the end of the day, that's what they want to do. So I don't see why they wouldn't, but
yeah, I think it's a play. I think it's easy. I think it's an easy play for them. I think the question is do they want to get into the original content business the other players have tried to do, and we know Apple is trying to do right now with carpool karaoke and with the Planet of the Apps. So there's a huge possibility for it. I think what you just said, was right, though, is you just can't dump it on there like you do YouTube. So it does make me wonder.
Oh, Dan, he was saying that that's what they told him. That's what Facebook told him. We don't want you to dump tons of random content. It has to look like a regular TV show.
So I think when you say I think you're right in terms of the sermon, but I think I'd go a step further. I'd say you may want to think about how do you take your sermon and turn it into your worship service and actually turn it into a produced piece with a intro, video, outro. How do you do that so it looks?
Make it look like a normal Sunday morning broadcast to a television station. I think that's what they're expecting. So, and honestly, it seems like, and what Dan was saying was that Facebook's actually super interested in how the church is using Facebook. They're really expecting us to use Facebook groups for discipleship, and they're really interested in that kind of concept. So, it's kind of interesting that they're not, they're modeling us in a weird way, but then they're they're not so hands off. And I've got a lot of good feedback from the Power group, from the Power admins group that we're in, that it seems like they're not totally, you always expect for a secular large company like that to be totally evasive maybe to what the church is trying to do, but it definitely seems like they're not. Seems like they're definitely trying to partner with.
No, I think they are. I think the reality of it is they're trying to figure out how we do community, what makes our community stick and last long. I think one of the things that I know that Zuckerberg witnessed when he was in certain communities was that in a lot of these communities, the church was the pillar of the community, or at least had been at some point. So it was like, it's the town center. This is what people revolve around. And so I think they see that and kind of go, how do we create that with Facebook? How do we create that idea of community? And I think it also goes a little further into this, Katie, is that I think we're starting to understand, yes, the nature of online relationships is different, but there's a still very human component to it. I mean, there was the article that has been going around this week about the confessions of the social media from Wendy's. Yeah. And I think did you write on Facebook about that?
Yeah. I wrote on it about how we had similar upbringings. Like, she was saying, like, I loved being on MySpace because I felt like people got to know me. It was like an easier way for people to get to know me. And then she was like, and then finally, like, because of the internet, I felt accepted. And I was like, oh my gosh, I completely understand. Now, don't get me wrong, I was decently, like, liked in high school. I wasn't not popular or whatever, but it was more like, I finally found my people, like on the internet, it was so easy to find my crowd. And I think we've experienced this in the group, the church communications group. I mean, how many comments do we get a week that says, I feel like I finally found my team. I feel like I finally found people, and it's just so nice. And so how can we replicate that to share the gospel with people? Is it a national kayaking group where we get people together and we put some believers in there? And we just create relationships naturally around kayaking, and then who knows what happens from there. I think that's a very valid strategy for the future of growing the church.
I think so too. I think the reality is we have to ask ourselves, what do we
need? That's like a tidbit of what I'm giving at that church conference.
Sorry. I got to stop doing that. I keep gearing into that.
You keep gearing into what I'm talking about.
I'm going to give them a free plug. There's only 10 spots left for their conference.
It's a total free plug for Justin's Justin Vance conference at churchconference.com. I'll be speaking, and and you can watch it online apparently. And
Kenny's speaking. I heard Kenny's going to speak.
I heard that Kenny's going to speak, and he might be listening right now.
Exactly.
Bo, we're like all the fun kids, so we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. In fact, we're bringing our entire comms
department team. So no pressure here.
No pressure on Katie. I'm bringing the entire cheering section for her. So
I'm going to just like make up stuff the entire time about what we're doing. Like, we're doing this and that and that.
I would like that. That would make it, And then they made our team, and they go, there's no way you guys are doing that. I've seen you jokers. So there you go.
No.
All right, let's get to some shout-outs this week. Big shout-out this week is, I believe we've got another Ask Adam coming up tomorrow. Is that correct, Katie?
Ask Adam. He's the best. I'm trying to figure out what, I'm trying to actually go in and see what his training is about. How to get people to create content for social media. Ooh, how do I get people to create content for me for social media?
That's going to be a really good one. So that is with our wonderful friend, Adam McLaughlin, who has more than graciously offered to help us do these Ask Adam sessions, which we were super pumped about. So want to give a shout out to him and for you guys to check that out tomorrow. Don't also forget that we are going to be doing a Facebook Live on Sunday night with the author of Discipleship. We'll be doing that with, I forgot his last name's Harrington, I forgot his first name. We'll be doing Jim Harrington. We'll be doing that as well. And also don't forget, we also have a YouTube channel. We have an Instagram channel, Twitter, and we have a Facebook page. So we're all over the map.
The Facebook page is especially important because we want to get that watch thing. And so we feel like we need to have more. So if you like the Facebook page, that might help us convince them to give us a show.
I'll put all those links in the show notes for you if you guys to like and follow, all that kind of stuff. So we'll be doing that, and we'll be cranking out more content next few weeks. So there we go. Well, folks, thanks for hanging out with us, and we will see you all next week.
Sounds great.